What's going on, people? This is Rob for the Cornastore podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. We got a repeat guest on the show. We got Mr. Chief Bullhead. How you doing, man?
What's going on?
And everything's been going good lately, man. Just on vacation last weekend, trying to get back into the swing of things, and a quite busy week at work. We had weather, with the whole deviations, like plans they want to kind of like go around weather. And when it comes to bad weather, we also have like really bad rides. So it can be stressful during the whole summer months, but hey, we kind of expect that. So, but how you doing?
Man, I can't complain.
Yeah. Hey man, I like that t-shirt. Did you get that made recently?
I did.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Representing Woodlawn, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we had like a brief conversation like a few days ago, and we wanted to talk about like the inner city violence. So like what you want to start off with off top?
You know, this country is starting to end up like all the rest of the countries around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Disorder, disobedience, and non-accountability. And I'm kind of scared about that. Because I mean, now you just got people running around just doing whatever they want to do. They don't care about authority. They don't care about consequences. They don't care about prison. They don't care about death. They don't care about nothing.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, it kind of starts from home, when there's no male figure, no masculine presence to kind of like keep things in check. They're mostly the disciplinarian, while the more feminine side is more of the nurturer. She's more caring. When we don't have that in abundance in our community, then yes, it's going to be like chaos, and that's why I don't like going to the city. I mean, just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, I don't know, man. That's why I like to stay in my own little bubble. I got two little girls to raise. If I'm not going to be here, then that will literally change the whole trajectory of how they're going to live the rest of their lives. I mean, my girls are 2 and 5. So, by the way that I move, I plan on being here until I can see my grandkids. So I would like to live for like another 30, 40 years. I
God
just
willing.
turned, I just turned 40, a few months ago. So, but yeah, man, it starts at home, man. So we just need better nuclear, families, raising our kids, keeping them accountable. And that's always been a blueprint of how we kind of like kind of keep things in check.
Yeah. Well, I can just say this, man. America needs to check itself. You know, um, there's two type of Americans that live, actually three type of Americans that live in this country.
Okay, name the three.
American born, which is you and me.
Okay.
Foreign citizens who become American citizens, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not Americans. They're American citizens. There's some difference.
Okay.
And if anybody tries to argue with that, American citizens cannot run for the president of the United States. So they don't have the same rights that we have as Americans that were born in this country.
Okay.
And then you have the illegals that are in this country. It's funny. I was watching a news program the other day, and it was saying that a lot of illegal aliens somehow are uh, getting the right to vote, and that doesn't make any sense. If you're not a citizen, how do you get to vote?
That's more
Uh,
the Democratic Party platform as far as getting the illegals to vote and getting them IDs and getting them
yeah, but they're not
resources.
citizens. I mean, how do you give someone a right to do something and they're not a citizen?
All right, I get it. I totally understand. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's what they're trying to do.
And those people, some of those people, once they become citizens, supersede brown skinned people.
I mean, as far as the illegals, they're gonna most likely come from the south, come from Mexico,
No,
and
that's not true. You know how
okay,
many
so
illegals come through Canada
I'm
from
saying most of
Asia
them,
and other and other?
most.
Huh?
I said most illegals are coming from Mexico.
Mm,
Most.
I disagree with that.
Okay,
You know,
so you was to put
the
a
northern
percentage.
border is not as secure as the southern border is. It never has been. And it's funny. You know, you can walk into Mexico without any ID and just go into Mexico. Now, getting back is will
Right.
be,
Why would you do that?
but they do it. People go to Mexico all the time. They just cross over the border. Look,
Right. Right.
look,
My
the
question is,
Mexican federales, they don't check you for your ID and ask you for a passport. You can just walk across the border.
right. My question was like, why would you walk across the border to Mexico and not have an ID, knowing that in order to like get back in, you're gonna have so much red tape in order to get back into the US? Like, why would someone do that?
Okay, this is my point. The illegals can cross back and forth across the border right now with no ID. They got mass amounts of people crossing the border right now into the United States from Mexico, from all over the place.
Well, wait, are you talking about the coyote routes or the actual like the border gates or like the border drive-throughs? I don't think if you don't have
No,
an
no, the
ID,
drive-through.
you're not going through the drive-through
Look, at the border, you got to have an ID, but you don't need an ID to cross the border
to go into Mexico.
or to come into the United States.
No, I don't think that's true, man.
Okay, well,
I think that's true.
you know, I believe it was in 1999, they started sending Marines down to the border to for drill weekends or for 2 weeks at a time for their annual training, and they were actually capturing people that were crossing the border.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, a couple Marines killed a couple of them or shot a couple of them. You know how Marines are; they want to kill people. So once they shot a couple people that were crossing the border, they shut the program down. Because like, you know what? They can't control themselves. You know, they're just going to open fire on some of these people. But it happened.
Now, what year are you talking about? Because
1999.
okay, so I was in San Diego from 2000 to 2003, and I used to frequent Tier One all the time, but we didn't show ID coming back into the US. Like back then, they was like, what citizenship are you? All you got to do is just say US, and then they'll just let you in. We didn't have to pull out our ID unless there was some type of suspicious activity. But I mean, that was 20 years ago. So as far as right now, I
Right.
seriously doubt that you're not just gonna say U.S. citizen and then just walk it to the border.
No, 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 no.
So yeah.
Look, not at a border patrol crossing, but I'm talking about this. All that stretch of land that they supposedly, started building this wall, and they even show people that even if you build the wall, they can get over it.
Oh yeah, yeah, they can climb over. I
So,
mean,
so there's no stopping them. It's like, you know, they're asking people to stop coming over here. Yeah, the vice president was like, "Don't come." How are you gonna tell people not to come here? People love this place.
yeah, but like a few minutes ago, you're saying that there's three type of people. There's the natural born. There's the people who end up becoming citizens. Then there's the illegals.
Right.
It seemed like you were kind of against the illegals coming in, right?
Of course I am.
Okay, so like it seemed like you have a problem with her saying don't come. I
You know,
understand that the U.S. is probably considered the greatest country to ever live in.
okay.
I mean, a lot of people feel that way, but it
All
just
right.
seems like that you have an issue with her saying that.
Okay. At first it was come, this is the American way, come here, blah, 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 blah.
That was
And
the
then later
Democratic
it was
platform.
like, don't come. So it's like, once again, we got the campaign slogans, the campaign lies, the
Oh, of
campaign
course.
bullshit
Yeah.
that Democrats have done ever since I can remember. They promise you everything and they don't give you anything after they get elected. They give you a little bit of, a little bit of money. They give you some Section 8, some food stamps. Hell, look, they were showing on the news where at the border they had clothes, tennis shoes, and food ready for these people to come over here. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
They had t-shirts, shorts, tennis shoes, sneakers, socks, underwear, all brand new clean clothes, food at some of these, you might as well call them American welcoming centers.
As a
But they're
matter of
supposed to
fact,
be border control detention centers.
hey, is Atlanta considered a sanctuary city?
I don't know. I don't live in Atlanta.
I
And
mean, Atlanta,
I don't know.
Atlanta's in your backyard.
But I don't know. I don't mess around with Atlanta like that. Just like I don't really
believe it
mess around with
is.
Chicago like that.
I believe it is because when Stacey Abrams was running for governorship, I mean, she was like a strong proponent of embracing illegals. I believe Keisha Lance Bottoms was also on the same type of like agreement. But I could have sworn like cities like Atlanta, I believe San Francisco was one. I believe LA is one. I mean, it's all types of cities around the country that's considered sanctuary cities.
I mean, I thought Chicago was one of them, wasn't it?
Chicago, I really don't know actually, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they said that they were going to arrest anybody for being illegal alien in the United States.
Well, I don't think that they're seeking out illegals per se, but if they commit a crime and it's determined that they are here illegally, then yes, they will be detained and they will be sent back over.
Yeah, well, I tell you who's getting the worst of it. It's the southern border because they just got people crossing over like crazy. And, there's room in this country, but it's all up north. Like Nebraska, Iowa, like they actually want people that are looking for asylum to come there and to work there.
Yeah, for the cheap labor, of course.
Right, of course. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I mean,
as far as illegals taking over resources, I mean, Black folks need resources. I mean, look at our communities. I mean, go to your nearest Black community across any U.S. City. They're pretty much shitholes, just like Trump called African country shitholes. I mean, literally in our backyard, we got like a lot of shitholes.
Yeah, we do.
When you just drive through the hood, I mean, men from like 16 through like 30, 35, 40, just standing around the corner ain't doing nothing.
Right. Well,
causing a ruckus.
And that goes back to the original part of this podcast, broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Non-accountability. No one's being held accountable for anything. People just running amok in this country right now. You got all these Karens and Kens going around messing with people. You got, people getting beaten up on on airplanes and at the airport. They got massive fights going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in America is angry, and you just look at somebody and if they don't look at you the right way, you just start a fight with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting out of control. We are out of order as a country, and we're still letting more people in here, and their agenda is different than ours.
Oh yeah.
Foreign people that come here, they come here because they leave in some place that they don't want to be at because some type of oppression most of the time. We're so used to oppression in this country that we don't even see it.
I mean, people complain about it all the time. I mean, did you hear about the latest controversy regarding the female officer that got killed here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
But one of the suspects that was shot during the altercation, he would end up being sent to Christ Hospital, and I saw some video that went viral in which their mother had went up to Christ trying to bogart her way through the.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I saw the video she made either right before she went in there or right after she came out too. And she was talking about how her sons were not who they said they how everyone portrayed them to be, and that they were good boys and all this other stuff.
Have
Look,
you seen their mugshots?
I
You
mean,
can't tell me that these were good boys.
okay, well look, first of all, I don't judge a book by its cover, so I'm not just gonna look at their mug shots. I want to know their whole history, because
I
just because
mean,
you got tattoos and look like you hard in a mug shot, and have you ever been arrested?
no.
Lucky you. Well, guess what they do after they
I
arrest you?
I won't say that was luck. It's just by the way that I move. I don't do
Okay,
certain things that would put myself in a compromised position in order to get arrested.
okay. Well, I haven't been that fortunate, but I'll tell you one
Oh,
thing: when they
sorry
put
for
a
you.
jumpsuit on your ass and put you in front of that judge, yeah, you look like a criminal whether you're a criminal or not. They make you look like a criminal.
I mean, there's like many variables. I mean, if you have the look and also if you have a rap sheet, like if I was mistakenly like arrested and then I had to go to court, okay, let's say like a Friday night, I'm on Rush Street. I get arrested from like disorderly conduct. I was drunk in public and I got arrested on a Friday night. I can't see the judge until Monday. Okay, if I'm like arrested on Friday and then I appear in front of a judge, then like if you look at me, I mean, do I look like a criminal?
You got that orange jumpsuit on, you'll look like one. I
Okay.
mean, you laughing, but look, I've had the orange jumpsuit on.
Okay.
Trust me,
Okay.
it
Even
makes you
even
look different.
even I have the orange jumpsuit. Okay, they're gonna ask, okay, does he have any priors? No, he has no priors. He's former military. He currently works for the federal government. Why in the hell is this man in my courtroom?
Um, Judges don't ask that question. They only address the charges that you are being brought against. They don't care about your history. They don't care if you're a veteran. They don't care. Look, they don't care about that. All they care about is their job is to prosecute you because you've been charged with a crime. And you got to go get you a lawyer to get you out that damn orange jumpsuit and
Right.
get a suit on you to look like you really look like someone who's important. Because I'm telling you, look, get locked up on a Friday at Cook County and don't go to court until Monday. You ain't washed your ass. You ain't brushed your teeth. You got an orange jumpsuit on. Your hair and your beard has been growing. It grows after a couple days. You're not groomed. You look like a damn criminal.
I
And
would
that's how they treat you.
I,
Look,
I would
hey,
disagree.
I've been there. So you know what? Let anybody else that watch this video dispute that shit. I'm telling you, after you go to court, you got that orange jumpsuit on, and you done fought a couple guys off, like down in the fucking lockup, trying to touch your booty and shit. Yeah, trust me. You tired? They put you in a cell with with no mattress and holes in on the bench. This shit is uncomfortable. They make your life uncomfortable. It's like fucking being in hell.
I
And then
get
you
it.
have to show up first thing Monday morning after you've been locked up all weekend, smelling like ass and shit, and you go to the fucking courtroom and they're looking at you like, damn, stink, got the jumpsuit on. Yeah, they label you a slave. That's what you are. You're
See,
a slave.
being a
And
slave
they
is a
present you to the
mentality.
judge like a slave.
Being a slave is a mentality. I don't consider myself a slave. I don't act
No,
like a slave.
when you go to jail or you go to prison, you are now a slave to the state or to the federal government. You have to do what they tell you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Go to sleep. When you wake up, when you got to eat.
It sounds like
At
boot
least in the
camp.
military, you know what? Boot camp is like slavery to a certain extent. You better do what the hell you told to do, or what? They'll send you home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to go home. You went there for a reason. But they weed out people and they do things, but you're still a slave because you are not allowed to speak unless you are spoken to. True or not?
I
When
mean,
you're in
they're
boot camp.
just Right. That's a military boot camp social order.
Right. Well, it's the same way in prison, except you just that's the rules the whole time you're there.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about that because I've never been in prison. I mean, I did a prison tour a couple of times in college.
Yeah, I'm
That
sure
was
you didn't want to go, right?
and that was a deterrent in me going out and moving in the right direction and trying to avoid put
Right.
myself in that situation. So
I've done a couple overnighters, uh, nothing serious, but I also did work in the prison for about 3 years in Memphis. And trust me, those guys,
man, of southern prisons,
huh?
those southern prisons, are they different?
Nah,
No. Okay.
bro, look, when you locked up, you locked up.
Okay.
You got correctional officers out there who think they better than the inmates. They're abusive, verbally and physically a lot of times, just like slave masters were, towards slaves. And if you get out of pocket, they'll beat your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you say something, they'll put you in solitary. You're a slave. When they tell you to wake your ass up, you better wake the fuck up, or they're gonna drag you out the damn cell and beat your ass. This ain't just the movies. It's like that for real in real life. I mean, I've seen guys who flood their cells and then they get the CRT team up in there to whoop that ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the first place, they got to bring them to medical, make sure they're covered legally,
All right.
so they don't get sued and all that. But yeah, man, look, I'd rather kill myself than go to prison.
Mm.
That's how bad it is. And
Now,
some people don't understand that because they're used to being, told what to do or controlled. Look, ain't nobody controlling me.
mm-hmm.
Look, am I glad that I experienced it? Yes and no. I'm glad I saw what I didn't want to live my life as, but it was horrible, man. It was freaking horrible.
I mean, like, do you have to really experience it firsthand just to kind of understand like the magnitude of not going back to that place? Because like I never been to prison as far as an inmate, but I've been as a visitor just to do a tour. But I mean, to me, there's nothing like your freedom. I mean, just to wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, and I have to worry about my safety. Just to take a shower, but I worry about my safety. I could go in and out of my house and
No, or just being able to go to your
something.
refrigerator to eat something if you want to eat something. You can't do
Right.
that in prison.
Right. Exactly.
You got
Right.
to eat. Look, you know what they call inmates
What?
when they're getting ready to they call it feeding them. It says time to feed, like you're an animal, like you're a cow or a pig or a chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go up there and say, it's time to feed. And they'll be rattling cages. All the cages come out and they all line up and they all go to the chow hall or the mess hall, whatever they call it, and they eat some nasty ass food.
Mm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then look, I'm telling you, man, look, there's no way I want to go to prison.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's like many brothers in our community that's repeat offenders, and they don't mind going in and out for some reason. I mean, like the justice system like allows them to like constantly go in and out of prison depending on what type of crime that they're committing. But now, like, what could be an easy fix to you as far as the way that we could kind of move in the right direction?
We got to get all these. We got to get all these. We got to get all these young men out of the cities, out of all these ghettos.
Yeah, but
I mean, you asked me a question. The only way to solve this problem is to get these kids out the ghetto.
mm-hmm.
Because the concrete jungle, the ghetto, it ain't no joke. I mean, you know about that. You grew up in the concrete jungle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And
but yeah,
the only way to save these young men and women out here now is to get them out these cities and get them away from all this violence, get them away from all these music videos, all these video games, all these things that poison their minds.
no,
That's the
cause I
only
mean,
way you can. That's the only way we can save these the next generations. We have to show them that they can live a happy life versus a life of crime and violence, and that's what they all see every day on TV or on the street.
my thing,
Crime and
yeah.
violence. Look, it's like the new norm. Oh well, you know what? Uh, Ray got shot the other day. Oh damn, shit. So sorry.
Now, 20 years ago, cities were being gentrified, right? So I remember back when I was in grade school and high school, like mostly crime was concentrated in certain pockets of the city, mostly right like around a project. So once the projects got closed down, and when these people were given like Section 8 vouchers to kind of like disperse throughout the city, and also the yeah, but when people dispersed the like the projects and they were kind of going around like the cities and the immediate suburbs, crime wasn't concentrated in those pockets and the projects. Now crime is kind of like dispersed everywhere, like around the cities.
Right. Yeah, like I remember everybody talking about they was moving to Bolingbrook and a whole bunch of different suburbs, and all
Right.
the suburbs got bad because
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they say, the saying goes, you can take the, you can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Right. So by you saying how they need to leave the cities because of the whole inner city culture, I don't think that's necessarily the answer.
Okay,
Because if
so
you if
so
you
all
if
right,
you think about the cities, then most of the general behavior is going to be happening outside of the cities, way deep into the suburbs
okay, I didn't say the suburbs.
or the
They need to
country.
pass the suburbs.
Right. Even in the country.
Well, I
See, the issue is
I
that
look. I hope that things get better, but I don't see it happening.
mhm.
Personally, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have like a high marriage rate. I mean, obviously the like the laws and then divorce court and family court doesn't incentivize men to even take that risk.
Right.
But to me, nuclear families, married couples with nuclear families, to me, I think that's the easiest fix to even move the needle as far as getting our kids in order.
No, I mean, I agree with that. Um, but in the hood, without the proper education, without the proper work ethic,
Mm-hmm.
that's very difficult. You know, I mean, they say 85% of all the families in the hood are fatherless.
85%.
Yeah. So I mean,
You know what? I believe the stat is roughly somewhere in the 60s, maybe 65% single mother rate, but that doesn't mean that the fathers are not in the kids' lives. They just not in the same household.
some of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
okay, so maybe 60% of them don't know their fathers, but 85% of them don't have a father in the house. Period. And they don't even know who their father is. A lot of them. And
You putting a high percentage on that.
you know, I know a lot of guys who don't know their father, never knew him from the time they was born. And
Mm-hmm.
the father might have been around for the first couple of years, It's kind of really messed up. Uh, but this is something I've also noticed too, just from being observant. But a lot of women, if they're going to be with you or not, if they get past the age of 6 or 7 with their kids and they're still with you. A lot of women that chase their men away and then try to blame them for leaving
Mm-hmm.
when them children are young and those children don't remember their father being in the house. And then kids naturally start asking questions. Where's my daddy? Oh, he just left us or he just abandoned us. What they don't do is make themselves accountable and say, you know what? I didn't like your daddy. And you know what? I did all kind of messed up stuff to him. You know, I did violence, verbal or physical. And the guy just said, look, I don't want to deal with this no more. So I'm out. I'm out the door because it's easy to leave. It's easy to leave a female, especially guys. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
pack up the little stuff you got if you have something and you leave. But then they go back and tell their children, because he's like, women are smart. Most of them are very smart. They don't tell their kids that the father just couldn't deal with their bullshit. What they'll do instead is say, "Oh, well, he just left us and abandoned us because he didn't care about us."
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think men just walk away from women like that? Just
No.
one day say, you know what? I don't want to be with y'all. Peace. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Fortunately, in those situations, yes, the mother has the monopoly on pushing like the narrative of well, pushing her truth per se of
Right.
what happened.
Or her lies.
Yeah, yeah. So, but in majority of cases, when kids do end up getting older, and if they are curious to like know who their father is, and if they hopefully had that conversation with their father just to kind of get his vantage point of what happened, and they get his side, and then they could kind of like in retrospect kind of like remember conversations that they had with their mom and be like, oh, okay, this really didn't make sense because he told me this but you told me this. So I mean, hopefully more kids would like at least have conversations with their father if they then grew up in the same household with their father. So
If they know or want to even reach out to their father.
yeah, it's true, but
Our children say, you know what, my father wasn't shit. He left us when we was a kid, and fuck him. I don't want to have nothing to do with him no more because my mama said he left us.
yeah, I mean, it's a shame that stuff has to get that way. I mean, obviously, like I said before, like the answer and to move the needle is to have married couples raising their kids in the same household.
Right.
But unfortunately, most of us, in well, most black people in the U.S. are living in cities. Living in cities comes with quote unquote trauma because of what we see on a daily basis, whether if in school, whether if it's in our household, just like witnessing all types of chaos and you know um, you know out of order behavior. I mean, like black people don't know how to exercise conflict resolution.
Well, we really haven't been taught that.
Right,
And
right.
actually, we've been taught just the opposite. We've been taught to blame each other for our problems and then, say it's the white man's fault when really it's our fault.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
We're
hate.
so relying on the American system that, you know, let's get back to what I said, accountability. You know, a lot of women dislike men, and a lot of men dislike women now. You know, a lot of the common denominator of men and women now is attraction and sex. Those are the two major things with men and women. When they see somebody, oh damn, look at the booty on her. Or she's like, oh damn, look how handsome he is. But you know, it's kind of funny because women, they look at a man's accomplishments, his education, his pocketbook, whether he's, you know, nice or not so nice. But for us, most men aren't looking like if you got a degree,
Okay,
we
about that
don't look
shit.
at that as being something that as important as having a nice woman that's polite to you and you know, cares about you. We don't care about the degrees. Hell, most men don't even care if you got money. We care about how are you going to treat us as a man, and are you
Yeah,
going to respect us as a man? And a lot of women and men these days don't respect each other, and that's the reason why you got all these failed relationships. But once again, you know, like I said, still editing my book, but we need to start teaching young men to be husbands first before fathers, and that they have to be with a woman that they like versus love. I mean, I
yeah,
love a lot of people, but I don't like everybody.
yeah.
People I hang around with, people I like, not the people I love, the people I like.
Yeah, as far as the interaction between men and women today, like the social contract is broken. Like most of the interactions are pretty much kind of like foundation and short term pleasure.
Right.
Your short term pleasure. So, you know, as far as men not caring about women's degrees or anything, I mean, like men in general see that as like a masculine trait, as far as like a woman going out in degreed up masters, PhDs, and obviously they want to take that education and parlay that into a lucrative career. To us, we like, oh, she really trying to compete for our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why men kind of like care about what a woman's domestic skills are all about. Her ability to rear children. Is she going to be a good mother?
Right.
We don't care if she's going to be a good employee to some quote unquote white man. We care about her domestic skills to her black man.
Right. And you know what? And at the same time, even if you have a woman that has the bag, has money, most of them don't spend it on us. They spend it on themselves and their children.
Yeah, I actually heard a quote that by one of these YouTubers that I follow. He said something about if you give a man $100,000 job, he'll likely take care of a family and be pretty much comfortable. If you give a woman $100,000 job, she's just going to care about herself,
Yeah.
and that is so true.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you know, most women, not all women, if they got money,
Not
that's
all,
their
not all,
money.
not all. We just talking in
Right.
general
No, not
terms.
all, but many of them.
Mm-hmm.
When they make their check, when they make their money, that's their money, and they'll tell you, "This is my money."
Right. If you give it a
You know,
woman that's making 100,000 and you give it her and you making, let's just say 65, 70,000, 80,000, she go expect
you still
you
gonna be paying all
to,
the bills as a man.
she will want you to cover all the household
Right.
bills and then
Yep.
all her money is going to be her money.
Right. Yep.
Man, I mean, I guess it is what it is, huh?
Hey, you know, these young men better start realizing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, don't be trying to go. Like, don't be trying to be no 25-year-old man trying to, you know, satisfy some woman that's making the same or more money than you are.
Oh yeah, like to me, like a man that's 25 years old, he really shouldn't be getting into anything serious anyway, because like most men, they really don't get into their financial stride until they're in their mid 30s. But
Right.
I just say from 18 up to like 35, you should be
You
trying
take
to
care of
find
yourself.
Right, trying to find your purpose,
Right.
trying to, improve on your professional life, make sure that you hit the gym. I mean, you shouldn't have any kids, so
Right.
so you have all the time in the world to work on your body, work on your mind, work on your professional experience, and then that way you'll be in a position once you're 35, 40 years old to take care of a family.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that's where that's where you're working in your selection process for your wife.
Oh, of course. Of
And
course.
there's nothing wrong with meeting her when you're younger, but don't marry her until you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys make that mistake. They get married when they're not ready to be a husband and to take care of a household and take care of children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and women are frustrated by that because they want you to be able to do it. But the funny thing is, they know you can't do it and they still expect you to do it. And when you can't do it, they say you ain't shit. You know what? My man ain't shit. He can't pay the bills. He can't do this. He can't do that. And then that's when they start getting nasty because they're asking for something that they're not going to get for another 5 to 10 years.
All right. I mean,
and then they run their man off, and they end up being by themselves, or now they got the blended family, the stepdaddy, who's
yeah.
probably a little bit older and got a better job. Now that's when they start looking for the Negro with the better job after they ran off the man they had with their children.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them do that.
Now, cause like I know that you're not a huge fan of Kevin Samuels, but on his platform, that's what he preaches. He really want black couples to like get together, and these women that call in, for the most part, they may have a couple kids, but still expect that high value man to be making over $100,000 and to like take care of her kids, and someone will even be bold enough to be like, oh well, I don't want no more kids. But if a man that's
They
on his
want a
purpose,
man to take care of the kids they got.
right, of course,
Like Kevin Samuels said this, and this is important, okay?
right.
Especially nowadays. Guys out here ain't trying to take care of somebody else's kids.
That's natural biology.
Right. I mean, I've done it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm different than most guys in a lot of different ways. But most guys do not want to raise some other dude's kids and deal with that personality in their household.
Right.
But I can tell you this. The mother of my children were all fairly young when they got pregnant by me. And they had expectations that were their expectation was way too high for what I could provide at the time, but yet they still want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, I don't care if you got $20 million, it's never going to be enough for no woman. It's never enough. You can never make enough money for a woman. Period. When you're making 20,000 or 20 million, it's not going to be enough.
I mean, the money is relative because once a woman is used to that type of lifestyle, then I mean maybe they'll get complacent, maybe they'll get bored, maybe they can think they could probably get something better. I mean, look at Dr. Dre. He's worth $1 billion. His wife still left him.
300,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I mean, it ain't like he can't afford it, but let's step it back down to our level. If you're making 75,000, 100,000, and someone's taking a quarter of your money from you, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bills. It's funny. My oldest son, when I was in California, took me to court in California because I was there. I was only there for school. I was supposed to leave. Well, I did leave as soon as I finished school almost.
He took it
I
to
got
court.
what they call a child support bill. It says it's a bill that I owe the state of California. A child support bill, just like a phone bill, a gas bill, water bill, or any other freaking kind of bill.
Mm.
So, young men, listen up. Before you start paying child support bills, learn how to pay your own damn bills.
You mind if I ask, what's that bill? Something that like you can cover at the spot, or like you have to do a payment plan for it?
I'm so glad you asked that question. That's a good question. Yeah, when I got the bill, I paid it off. But God don't like ugly. And my ex took me to court in California, thinking she was going to get a whole bunch of money. So she closed her case in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she was still in Texas. So this is the only sweet part about paying child support. Sometimes for men, when I paid that to California, California did not send it to her house. They sent it to the state of Texas. And then they have to reroute that money once they shave off their little part, because they take some of it too for administrative fees. And they all get their money. But they couldn't send her the check because she closed her case in Texas. So they couldn't award her that money because her case was closed. So guess what they did? They sent me back the check. So
I heard that Texas is like one of the most child support friendly states in the country.
oh yeah, man. Hey, look, my ex left Delaware, went to Texas, told Texas I never paid a penny of child support. They never called no states. They never verified no payment. It's nothing. And I got it. I have it. I got the bill. I got a bill for $11,700 and something dollars from the time that my son was born until that date. They hit me for back child support, and they deducted $4,000 from my federal income tax the next year. I got it back about 2 years later. It was a fight. These are fights.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they didn't call Delaware to see if she received any payments in Delaware. They didn't call Tennessee, where I was living at, to see whether I had been paying. They just text me. And then, I'm calling down to Texas and said, well, we're not required to verify child support payments. Really?
So let me get this straight. So upon knowing that you was in California, that's what made that person file a child support order, just because they like assumed that California would like drop the hammer on you?
Yeah. Yeah, California is generous, man.
Damn. Yeah.
You know what? They increased my child support by 1,400%.
Damn. California trying to get into that water infrastructure, because they losing water out there, man. They trying to get the money for somewhere.
Man, I hated California. California got about 100,000 laws. They got a law for every damn thing in California.
Hey,
and if you break any of them, they charge you.
Hey, as a military, Marine out there, I loved California.
Hey, I mean,
because
I was
living on the government's dime. I was in the barracks. I was good. My meals were covered.
Look, the thing about California I don't like is they're so liberal. I mean, when I closed for my apartment there, it took like 3 hours to go over the paperwork. They had to tell me about every single thing that causes cancer around there. They had to tell me about, you got to recycle your garbage. You got to use all the different bins or you can get a fine. And then they didn't even tell you about the neighborhood. So like, if you park on a certain side of the street, they got street sweeping days. And if you don't move your car, you get a ticket. California is gangsters. Look, They don't write tickets no more. They got a scanner. They scan your VIN number, and everything pops up, and a ticket just and they throw it on your windshield. Take about 3 seconds to give you a ticket. Trust me, I paid quite a bit of, trying to keep up with their stupid ass rules. But yeah,
Lucky for me, I don't think I ever received any ticket from California. Speed
yeah,
and nothing.
she was on base though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I had a car. I mean, I was always off the base traveling, going downtown or going to the beach or something. I mean, I just never got stopped in California.
No, I had parking wars there. It was parking wars. It wasn't violations. It was parking wars.
But
It
the
was not,
military police, they would stop you over anything, though.
yeah.
Yeah. MPs on base were yeah, they were pretty dicks, man. I mean, they'll stop you over anything. But
Wow.
obviously they can give you a ticket. They'll just, give you some type of citation and then your name will be on some type of blotter. And then I guess all the COs read that blotter every Monday morning just to make sure that their troops wasn't involved in any type of altercation or
Right, right,
US or
right. Yeah,
anything.
yeah. The provost marshal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had one altercation on a Marine Corps base, Campus June once, and it's kind of stupid, but it's kind of funny. I don't think I ever felt threatened by a police officer on a base before, though. Not like out here out in town.
Oh yeah. I mean, MPs,
It's not the same.
they they would
I
go
mean,
out
they're
of
not
their
asking
way.
me 15,000 questions like where you going to. It's like I'm on base, so apparently I'm going somewhere on base.
Right. They're not on high alert to like try to reach for their whip or anything. I mean, they just want to stop you and see what's going on. Well, mostly the stops were to see if you were drinking, especially at night. Other than
Right,
that,
right.
like,
That's sobriety checks for the most part.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, oh yeah, they stop you a lot, even during the day. But still, it was just annoying. But outside of base, lucky for me, I just never ever got stopped by CHP, San Diego Police,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
Oceanside Police. Yeah, I never got stopped by anybody. Um,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna eat my burger, man.
You know what? The wife just brought in my food about 20 minutes ago. I got to make sure that it's still warm because I am hungry.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm finna eat, man.
Hey, the benefits of having a wife. She's upstairs in the kitchen cooking, and she can just bring me my food while I'm doing this podcast. Life is good, right?
All right, it sounded a little,
Sexist, right?
a little bit.
uh, that's all good.
Look, man. Look, you got a wonderful wife. Uh, we're lucky to be married, man, and having a wife at home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's a lot of guys out here that don't have a wife at home, and yeah, I'm glad I'm married, man. I'm glad I'm married. I'm glad that my wife takes care of me. Finally, I got someone who takes care of me
Mm-hmm.
instead of me just taking care of them. Uh, which is a big problem. Another big problem in our community, man. A lot of women don't think they need to take care of us. They don't think we're important.
It's true. I mean, for
And
me, so
and that's why a lot of them are by themselves and miserable because a lot of them don't know how to compromise, and instead of just taking, giving something back.
yeah, and life is trade-offs to everything. And fortunate for me, I'm blessed to have a wife and two little girls, and me being the only male in the household. Every time I'm in here, they are literally, you know, um, taking the life out of me. But it's all for a real purpose, though, man. I mean, I'm here to do my job. This is my duty to be the best husband, the best father that I can be, so that way when I end up getting old and not able to care for myself, and hopefully my girls will do me right.
Yeah, God willing.
Yeah. So, all right, man, I appreciate this little conversation, man. This impromptu discussion, and yeah, I had a good time, man. It's always a pleasure talking with you, man. I mean, I feel as though that being like over 10 years older than me, I can always learn from you, man. I mean, you always got stories for everything.
Man, you know what? Yeah, I was just telling my wife the other day, I cannot believe everything that I've done in my life. I've done so many things in my life, and I can't believe I've done it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've been to places that people just dream of. And I met people that people wish they would have met.
Mm-hmm.
And most for me was just coincidence. It was just like, you know, I tell people all the time, I feel like I was like Forrest Gump. Like, you know, I just end up places and, you know, running into people that you be like, man, what the hell? But I'll tell you this before I go. And this is something that people need to really understand, especially my children. Take nothing for granted in this world. Enjoy every smell, every sight, every taste, every every uh, everything that you hear. Appreciate everything in this life because they're blessings. You know, one of my biggest dreams is take all my children to go see the Milky Way somewhere and actually stare into space and actually see it with their own eyes. And once you see that, you'll know there's a God. If you don't believe in God, go look at the Milky Way. It'll make you believe in God.
Interesting.
Because God exists. No matter what his name is, whatever you call him, he exists. He's out there. Or it's out there. Whatever, you know, you want to describe it. But he didn't give you all your senses for you to not take advantage of them and to appreciate them in your life. And that's what I want everyone to understand on this planet. You know, every time you get to drink some water, that's a blessing, especially some clean water. Or you eating a real meal versus eating garbage out of a garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen people do because they didn't have no choice or they made the wrong choices in their life.
Right.
You know, every time you wake up, that's a blessing. And then the last thing I want to say, congratulations, everybody. You won the lottery. You're on this planet because you are one of 100, 200 million sperm cells that got impregnated your mother's egg. Think of all the other hundreds of millions of sperm cells that didn't become a person.
Yes, we won the race, huh?
We won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people talking about, oh, well, the lottery don't win. You won the lottery already the first time by being born, by being conceived. No matter how you're conceived, you're lucky.
Yeah.
And people should appreciate it. So my message to people is appreciate everything that is in front of you. Because once it's gone, it's gone. That's people, places, and things. Things get destroyed all the time. People die, buildings collapse. Appreciate your shit while you're here.
Awesome.
All right, cuz.
Thanks, cuz, man. Very eloquent, man. I appreciate you, man. Rob and Chief Bullhead, Cornastore Podcast, impromptu conversation.
Appreciate
see y'all next time. And hopefully I see you in another couple of weeks, brother.
All right, man.
Talk about something else, all right?
All right, later.
All right, man. Peace.